Hey there, thank you so much for downloading another episode of Considering the Source. I'm your host, Scott Roar. Well, in this episode, it really has its origins, about a year ago. So one day I'm sitting down on Facebook and I'm just browsing through the various updates, and I come to my friend Jeff Henson, his page. Now, Jeff throws a lot of stuff on Facebook. Some of it is hilarious, some of it is outrageous, some of it you don't know what to think. But this day there's a video. Jeff has shot it at his workplace. It's a factory. It looks clean. But what's different is Jeff is giggling. And he's giggling with anticipation.
Josh. Oh, shit. All right.
Now, when I watch this video, I'm laughing really hard. But the video doesn't stop. There's another.
Josh. I didn't even get it out.
And another.
I'm not kidding. This is the third time today I'm going to scare him. Josh.
Oh, God. Come on, man.
And when those videos stop, then it takes this turn.
Everybody, this is Josh. I want Josh to say ambulance.
Ambulance.
Say it again.
Ambulance. I'm saying it just how you're saying it.
Ambulance.
Ambulance.
All right. Say it again.
Ambulance.
And now Josh is trying to tell jokes.
Okay, everybody, Josh is going to tell a joke. Here we go. Go ahead, Josh.
Okay, I think I got it. Go.
Okay.
So the guy wakes up in the morning and he wants a cup of coffee. So his wife makes him a cup of coffee and he says, it tastes like dirt. So then she says, well, it was dirt. Or no, she says...
He's going to fuck this up. I knew it. Okay, go ahead.
She says that it was in the dirt. No, she says it was grounded. It was, yeah.
Fucking dope.
Okay, so the guy wakes up in the morning wanting coffee.
Okay.
He says it tastes like dirt.
Okay.
She says it was in the ground. No. Okay. So the guy wakes up in the morning. He wants coffee.
Okay.
He says he said it tastes like dirt.
Yeah.
She said it was grounded this morning. You get it? Because it was...
Yeah, I get it. Oh, that was awesome.
It's so hard
Good job.
to remember.
So I reached out to Jeff and said, hey, is it possible that Josh would come on the show? He asked Josh, and Josh agreed under the stipulation, believe it or not, that Jeff come with him. So Jeff and Josh came over here to the house and to the studio, and we recorded the episode you're about to hear right now. It was a lot of fun, and there were quite a few laughs at Josh's expense. So without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here's my friend, Josh Lovett. All right, so Josh, here we are.
Are we recording?
We are recording. We've been recording for...
We were recording that whole thing?
No, I'd say about...
I was going to say, I was like, knocking on my own accent.
Right.
About 2 minutes ago, we started
okay.
recording. And it'll all get edited out.
Awesome.
Honestly. So, what... Can I ask your last name?
Dude, go ahead. Yeah, love it.
Last name is Lovett.
Right.
Or you love that I'm... Okay, your last name is...
Lovett.
So Josh Lovett.
Lovett, yeah.
All right.
No relation to Lyle.
No.
Oh, okay. So, is it spelled the same way as Lyle Lovett?
It is, actually. Yeah.
Okay, but there's no
100%.
relation.
None at all. Not
You're
that
sure?
I know of.
Okay.
I
So,
wouldn't know.
Jeff here has noted that you have an accent. And so, where's the accent from? Where are you from
I'm
originally?
originally from Georgia. Born and raised till I was like 9 years old.
What part of Georgia?
Augusta. Oh, boy.
The Masters is my favorite sporting event.
I lived right across the street from it.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever sneak onto the course?
No.
'Cause you were-
My great-grandpa, he's dead now, but my great-grandpa was an actual member there.
Really?
Yeah, so my dad got to play the course.
You're kidding.
Dead
I
serious.
might have to take over right now because Scott's going to have a heart attack.
Yeah. That is amazing.
It's great-grandpa on my mom's side, but, because he was a member there that, Dad even helped clean the course sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
But you moved away from there when you were 9.
9 years old, And just before my 10th birthday, went to Africa, South Africa.
Okay. All right. So, and we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
So, the thing that, so to the listener, Josh pulled up here this morning in his Mini Cooper.
Right.
And he gets out of the car, and I'm like, oh, yeah, there's Josh. Like, when I see Josh,
Right.
I instantly know, oh, that's Josh. And the reason for that is Jeff Henson. So Jeff is here with us as well. Jeff, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be back.
It's great to have you back.
That.
Yeah, it's great to have you back. So if you're not friends with Jeff Henson on Facebook, I highly recommend going ahead and putting in your request now. And Josh, do you have a Facebook page as well?
I do.
You do. All right. So I'm gonna after the show, I'll definitely go ahead and send you a friend request so I can tag you in some of this stuff too.
Yeah, it's just Josh Lovett.
All right. So what happened? It was probably it seems like it may be about a year ago. All of a sudden, there were these videos of Jeff scaring the crap out of you.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad.
And I remember, and I emotionally went through a pattern like this. Like, initially, I was laughing so hard because it was just funny watching you get scared at anything. Josh, you understand, like, you get scared at, like, crazy, easy,
I agree.
simple stuff.
Yeah,
okay,
I agree.
So you know you're an easy scare.
Exactly. I don't know why. He's asked me. I have no idea why, but oh my goodness. He scared me, I think it was like a month ago. He scared me so bad while I was working that I literally like pulled a muscle in my neck or something, and my neck hurt. I'm not even kidding. And then I've also hurt my ribs because I'll do like this jerk thing. Yeah. Like when he scares me, I like make a noise. It's kind of like a grunting noise. Uh-huh. And then I like my whole body. It's like ugh, like that. Sometimes like if I'm talking and he comes up behind me and gets me and I'm like talking, I'll get that word out, but it's like really really loud, kind of like not screaming, but you're like ugh, and then it gets to you. Oh, it's bad. And if he's like over my shoulder to my right, and I'm like, how you instantly go to where the sound, the scare is for some reason. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I pulled my neck, hurt my rib. So scaring, they should take scaring seriously.
Yeah, because you can hurt somebody.
Exactly.
You, specifically.
For sure.
So when you started videoing this, I'm going to presume you'd been scaring him already for some time.
Oh, goodness, yes, all the time. And then finally he's like, I got to start at least recording one. So then he recorded some, and then he started throwing some up on Facebook, and people loved it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was one of those things I would come up to him, and I would just be like, hey, Josh, and he would freak out. I'm like, damn, dude, settle down, man. And then it's happened like, and again and again and again. I'm like, screw this. I got to start. This is too funny to keep to myself.
Well, emotionally, what happened was initially I was dying laughing. And then all of a sudden, like one day, it got to this point where like I was feeling sorry for you. And I thought to myself, Jeff is bullying.
Right.
Jeff is being a dick. He needs to stop this.
Right.
This poor kid. Like, sometimes when I watch the video, I can tell from your expression, like, I'm not really enjoying this.
Right.
I wish that you would stop.
Right.
Clearly, you're enjoying it, and all your friends, but I freaking hate this.
Now, there's some times where he knows, like, I'll come in a bad mood and he'll scare me. Oh, it ticks me off so bad, but, like, he's like, okay, I won't do it again. I'll be, like, get really focused in on my work again. He'll scare me, and I've burnt myself with the heat gun before. I've stabbed myself with a screwdriver. I mean, he really gets me. And, I've tried, he's like, someone at work said, okay, now when he comes up and scares you, just pretend like, it's someone coming up asking you a question. No. It doesn't work at all. It still
He gets too focused on whatever he's doing is what the problem is.
Right.
He is like opposite ADD. Like he's so focused on one thing and he can't.
He shuts everything out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
he'll even tap me on the shoulder sometimes. And I still jump. And I don't do horror movies. I don't do anything scary.
It's one of those things where, like, I'll scare him, and I'll go, no, okay, sorry, dude, I'm not going to do it again. I walk away. I'm not exaggerating.
Not gone 2 minutes.
No. It's 30 seconds, and then he jumps.
And
again.
I jump just as bad as the first one.
Have you always been this way?
Well, no one's ever scared me before, so I wouldn't really know.
You didn't know. All right.
Right.
Well, at some point in time, I remember you recorded Jeff. Or you basically reported that, like, work had basically said no more cell phones. And I'm like, no kidding. They see Henson out there videotaping poor Josh all the time. Therefore I said, listen, we're getting no work done. And he's breaking stuff. Right. We have medical bills now for his cracked ribs. So, but then shortly thereafter, like,
it doesn't.
It was like you said, screw you.
Yeah,
This stuff is too good. My audience needs me.
Right. We even talked about that. Like when they said no cell phones, like Jeff and I, after that meeting was over, we like came to each other like, dude, what are we going to do? Our fans need us, you know? We really did. And he's like, no, he's like, this isn't going to stop us. I mean, we stopped for a week, little over a week, just so, you know, like when something happens, you got to like let the water settle again and then you come back. And we came back strong. I think we got a good scare that one. I don't know.
So you're invested in now. You like you've embraced it. It is what it is.
Right.
Even though it's hurting you.
Right.
And
the first couple times, I was like, okay, you know, this is cool. It was funny at the time, but now since, you know, you like see people get on there and some of them are like, Jeff, you're such an idiot. You know, why are you doing this to the poor guy? He's trying to work. Jeff never works. Side note, Jeff does work. He's one of the fastest guys there, but still, he has the time.
That's why I have time to do this.
Right. So when we first started, it was, you know, I didn't think people start following me on my Facebook because you're like, oh, yeah, Josh. I mean, they'll send me a Facebook message. Mm-hmm. Hey, Josh, you know, I'm one of Jeff's friends. I'm going to follow you on Facebook. I'm like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
So you've been working there for how long?
A year.
Okay. And how long did it take for him to like, did a friendship start? Or was there a friendship, or did you like did he annoy you from the get-go? Because it seems like when I read your post...
You know, I've never asked this question.
It seems like from your post, like for some reason, all the new people somehow deal with you almost immediately, or so it would seem.
That's how they weed them out.
Oh,
right.
No doubt. Okay, and so, but they come into you, Jeff, and like, and I'm with you because like you comment a lot about people being late and like not even caring about their job and like, how do you expect to keep the job?
Exactly.
You can't get here on time.
I can answer that. Side note, like I said, Jeff kind of weeds him out. Since I've been there a year, two of the biggest things Jeff has a pet peeve on. Being late is like number one. I mean, that's like the biggest thing. Second, keeping your toolbox a wreck. That's like, that really, I mean, he went through a guy's box. I won't say his name. The guy terminated a couple months ago. Yeah. Oh my goodness, it took him probably half the day just to weed all the junk that was in his box.
Really?
Well, the thing is that people have to deal with me because I'm the tool guy. I get all the tools ready for any of the new guys. Anybody who needs new tools has to come to me. So, and so I'm somewhat, somewhat of an answer man. I'm not a boss by no means, but you know, I've been there a while, so you know, people come to me for questions. So inevitably, they have to deal with me.
Yeah.
In one form or another. So.
All right. So you dealt with Josh then early on as well.
Yeah.
And what were your thoughts initially?
Initially, I don't know. Look at the kid. No, I don't know. Initially, I don't know. I mean, we have so many contractors come through. I mean, I don't even really think twice about anybody until they're there for like a month or two.
Did you think?
Because it, like we said, you know, with the and Josh has seen this in a year already. I mean, people are late so often and all that stuff and everything. We weed through them so fast, and there's such a turnover like that. It's like I don't even know if I should get to know the guy's name until he's there for a little while, because it's just half of them aren't.
Did you think he would last?
Yeah, I did, because as weird as it sounds, he had very little experience doing this. Those are typically the guys who last the longest, who are the best guys, because they're not one of these guys who come in here and go, I've been doing this for 20 years. You're not going to show me what to do. You're not going to tell me. You can kind of, mold them how, the way we do things, a lot of these guys are high turnover guys because they are late all the time. They're all and every shop, every office, whatever, does things differently, even though they do the same thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So we do things differently than other places. And it's imperative that we all do it the same way as much as possible. Mm-hmm. And so
there's no bad habits that you have to break.
Right.
They're just fresh meat, and you can just kind of train them in the way that you need.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Yeah. Now, one thing I've noticed about you, Josh, is that like you are incredibly easygoing.
Yeah,
it would seem.
Right.
I mean, anyone who basically put up with what some would label as abuse, anybody that would take that as much as you, and you are always smiling, and I perceive that, like, it's not missed on me. I see that, and I like that about you, because lesser men would have shot him already.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, they would. I have, as Josh likes to say, I have made men cry.
He really has. That's a good story. You know, like when we were just saying, he kind of weeds.
Only 2.
The thing is, when someone gets there, and as he said, they're late. I mean, there's probably the full-time guys. There's even guys that have been there 10, 15 years that are still late.
Consistently late.
Consistently late. So that's one of the things. And when they're consistently late, we have a certain amount of hours that we have to build a panel in. When they're consistently late, they have. I think that's
Josh's. Oh, geez, he's got this phone on his wrist. Oh my God, look at this guy. Do you have to answer that? Is
no,
that important?
I don't even know who 330 is. I think we'll just remember how you said there's times when you can edit things out.
Oh yeah, this will be edited. Unless you want to answer the phone, we can record your conversation.
Yeah, we can do that too.
Well, they just. Oh, sorry.
All right.
So yeah, when you're consistently late, you have a certain amount of hours that you have to build a panel that you get the job. Okay, on the router it'll say you have 30 hours to build.
I'm going to tell you this right now. Don't say the name of the company.
Okay.
And try to be as vague as possible.
Okay.
I'm just saying. No, you're good.
Okay.
You're totally fine. I just envision, it's one of those things.
Right, saying something. Oh, he's talking about me.
Yeah, or whatever. I don't know. I like on my page. I
never say
never. It doesn't label where I work. No, nothing, because I don't want to ever, because technically I could get in a lot of trouble for doing those videos there, because we're not supposed to take pictures of where we're working or anything.
So basically, he's risking his job for the sake of your laughs.
So everything's, yeah, right.
So, but tell me specifically about people he has made cry. And
okay, so people are late, consistently late. They're over hours on their build. So then what the bosses do, they're like, okay, we want to see if this guy can stand the times. So then they'll send him to Jeff. And when you get to Jeff, if you're not first starting off and you've been there a couple months, you should be scared. Because Jeff is one of these guys, you're going to do it my way. You don't like doing it my way. Pack your toolbox up and move away from me. He is that type of guy. And it's not bad. I mean, his panels always look spot on. He never makes a mistake.
Well, I don't know about that.
That I've seen. Mm-hmm. But they'll send him to Jeff. Well, when I got hired, another guy got hired the same exact time as I did. Our start dates were the same. We started in the same area. And he was, because I was raised in South Africa, I used different words for tools. Like I called it a spanner. Well, it wasn't a spanner. It was called a wrench to him.
Okay.
So, and he was already ticked off with the panel that he was working on. It wasn't working. He didn't have his parts. So I was like, dude, can you hand me a spanner? And he's like, what the hell's a spanner? This, and it. Starts literally yelling at me.
Total dick.
Right, yeah. Because I didn't know the name that he called it. I was raised in Africa. And then he made that joke. He's like, I wasn't raised in Africa or in America. Learn what the tools are and this. Oh, yeah, he's a total retard. Well, I shouldn't say retard. Okay, he wasn't cool. So anyways, the bosses, seeing that he was kind of being an idiot, so they're like, you know what? We're going to send him to Jeff. Well... Hold on a second. The guy who's being a jerk to you is Jeff or some other guy? The guy that was being a jerk to me was another guy, and they seen that he was being a jerk to me. Mm-hmm. So how they weed the new guys out, we'll send him to Jeff. See if he can handle with Jeff.
He can last.
Right, see if they'll last. Because if you get past Jeff, you're fine.
Okay.
So then they send him to Jeff. First day, a lot of button heads, nothing serious. The second day he comes in, starts working with Jeff. Throwing tools, flipping out. We don't have this. Right, screw the company. And then he's like, I can't do this. So then he starts going to the boss, saying that he can't do this. Screw the company, this, and this. He's not the one that he made cry. But he was one of the guys that was there that he couldn't hang with Jeff.
Okay.
So he didn't last the time. This, and this. Freaked out about a spanner that I called, that he calls a wrench, which I really don't know that. I mean, if you Google spanner, you Google wrench, they're similar names.
I never heard. But anyway, he was, we started at 6:30 and then at 9 o'clock is break.
Oh, yeah.
And so he left on break and he just never came back.
Right.
So,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The guys I made cry, that's been a little while, but it was just one of those things, man. Like, look, dude, you got to pick it up. You can't just sit there and putz around all day. You can't, whatever. And
his trademark was, as he said, break time's at 9. We have another one at 12. Well, 5 minutes to break time, he rolled his own cigarettes, tobacco, everything. He would always, without fail, He'd roll up his own cigarette, and we had probably, what would you say, about a 3-minute walk from the front of the company to the back of the company. Solid 3-minute walk, So 5 minutes before break, he's always rolling up his own cigarette, sticking it in his lip, and walking that 3-minute walk with it hanging in his lip.
Like he's the Fonz or something,
Like,
walking through.
Oh, you can't touch me. That was like his trademark. Oh,
This guy that
yes, sir.
is out the door.
Right. So yeah, break time came and he just never came back.
So yeah, I mean that's again like one of my pet peeves is not getting there in time and everything. It amazes me. People say, oh well, I just need a chance to get a job and I just need a job and if everybody just had an equal opportunity and all this bullshit.
Right.
And it's like we give the opportunity to everybody to come through the door.
Right.
And
what do you do with the opportunity?
It's like. I understand, you're not going to get rich working where we work or anything, but you're going to start out, being a temp like that and everything. You're making a neighborhood of $15 an hour, okay, in the neighborhood. It depends on your experience, this whatever. So it's not like minimum wage. It's not like it's McDonald's or something,
right?
So it amazes me that these people can't just keep just get here on time, man. That's
right.
all. I just get here on time. Do your job. You don't even have to do it super fast or anything. Just we always say that the speed will come.
Just start
like with Josh.
time.
Exactly. Josh had no clue and everything about it, but he learned it, and then the speed eventually came. That's all. It's all it takes. And people can't get to a job on time, and then they go, the man's keeping me down.
Right.
No.
Time is. I was raised. My dad kind of taught me like time is one of the few things in life that you have control over.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Now you don't have control over certain aspects of it, but you can plan ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a traffic jam. Well, if you'd went a little earlier,
right?
If you'd thought this is a potential, maybe you could have left a little earlier. There's a way. I'm not going to accept consistent excuses.
Right. There's always a traffic jam every so often, whatever.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yep.
But day after day, we literally had a guy start that dude who worked in the back.
Okay.
With Adam.
Yes, sir.
He was there 1 week, and he was late 4 out of the 5 days.
And borrowed $5 from one guy and never came back. I'm serious. I'm not even joking. It was the funniest. Poor guy lost $5, but. It was the funniest thing.
Yeah,
late 4 out of the 5, borrowed $5 for lunch, and never came back.
That's the thing that drives me the craziest.
Yeah.
And my friends have taken it, and this is a nickname I don't mind. But did you ever watch Seinfeld?
Yeah.
All right. Do you remember the soup
Nazi?
Nazi?
Hold on, wait, watch this. Josh, do you know what Seinfeld is?
I've never heard of it. I'm not even joking. I've never heard of it.
That's the thing we got to get into. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm telling you, I don't make this stuff up.
Yeah. Seinfeld, remember the soup Nazi?
Yeah.
So my friend started calling me the time Nazi because I'm so focused on time.
Okay.
I am definitely one of those guys, like, if you arrive on time, you're late.
Right.
I literally start feeling anxious if I'm not there.
Now I feel bad we were 6 minutes late getting here or whatever today, but
I knew you'd be here. It was fine. It was you'd never been here before.
Right. I'd never been here before, and Josh came over and we were talking over there, and then Josh has never been in Brunswick or anything, so I had to take him up. I showed him Mapleside.
Oh yeah,
and stuff and everything.
Oh, that's so beautiful too.
So he was pretty entranced with that. So
So where do you live now then?
I live in Hudson.
Okay, what are you looking to him for?
He always picks on me for living in Hudson.
Yeah, because that's the rich people. It's kind of like North Royalton.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, we're brothers. We're brothers, you and me.
Yes, sir.
He has really nice roads too.
Oh, nice. Oh, dude, I remember when I left Brunswick just thinking, oh, thank you. I don't have to drive into this development anymore.
I know.
Fortunately, my car held together. I mean, he had some pretty good potholes on the way to his house.
It's a big point of contention in the city. So.
And he doesn't live in a rundown house at all. It's just
nice houses,
right.
but the roads.
The roads are just horrible. It's probably the salt from the snow.
It's in that
salt.
development.
It's
It's
salt
just
here too.
it's just these slabs.
Yeah.
And over time, the slabs are all now uneven and they're cracked. And
I don't understand how we can't just put all asphalt down or something over those things and smooth it out and whatever. Yeah. That's what they did in Parma, and it was right by us. But
do what they need to do.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So, Josh, you're how old?
22.
22.
Yes, sir.
You remember those times, huh?
Right.
I do. So you mentioned earlier that you're around 9 years old, and then all of a sudden you're going to South Africa. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what did your parents do when you were still in Augusta? What did your parents do?
My dad worked. He did construction work, built houses, sunrooms, all that kind of stuff. And as long as I can remember, my mom has never worked a job.
Okay, so she was home.
Just stay-at-home mom, take care of the kids.
That's a job, damn it. Right? Come on, Scott, say it.
Yeah.
You don't want to get in trouble, dude.
According to Bill Burr, like, you ever heard Bill Burr's bit about when Oprah's like, this is the hardest job in the world? He's like, you ever run roofing in July?
I don't know who those people are.
No, we know you don't. No. So, anyway, so your mom's been a at-home mom.
Stay-at-home mom
All right.
since I can remember.
And you have brothers and sisters.
I do. I have an older brother that's been married for, I think, 5 months now. Kid on the way. And then my sister actually leaves for Atlanta, Georgia, Monday for college.
Okay. All right. So they're younger than you?
Brother's 23 and my sister's 20.
Okay. All right. So your parents planned everything out there. It was like 20,
yes, sir.
22, 23. Okay.
Right.
All right. So you're 9 years old. You can remember living in Augusta.
Right.
All right. At that point in time, your brother and sister were already there.
Right.
And do you remember when mom and dad said, we're moving to South Africa?
Oh, I do.
Tell me about that.
When we first lived there, Jeff and I have talked about this at work while working and stuff. When he first told us, the Lord's burdened him to go to South Africa and the whole family's going, me being young, I'm thinking, oh, dude, this is going to be the longest vacation. I'm the luckiest kid in the world. When you're young like that, you're like, any kind of experience is like going to be life-changing for you. You're really going to think that it's the greatest thing that's ever happened to you. Well, when we got there, I'd probably say the first couple years, they were okay. You're still trying. Big thing was culture shock. You've lived in America. Everything's basically backwards in South Africa. You drive on the opposite side of the road, different currency. Everything's different there. So for me,
the toilets flush the opposite way. Do they?
I never.
The water?
Yeah, the water.
I really don't know. That's a good question.
We'll Google that later.
Right. Right. So yeah, we get there and they were about 2 years. Started off in Bloemfontein. And
hold on. Let me back you up a little bit.
Okay.
So your dad is basically in construction.
Yes, sir.
But he comes home and says, I feel the Lord is leading me to head over to South Africa to do more construction?
No. To be a missionary there in South Africa. We started off in Bloemfontein, but I did forget to mention this part. Well, before you go to South Africa, you have to walk away from your job. So, and he was really good at what he did. I mean, he's already helped Cody with his house. He's a really good construction worker, was a policeman for a long time. I mean, he did all this kind of work. So he was making good money. Mm-hmm. So when he told us the Lord is burning him to go to South Africa, I'm going to have to walk away from my job, trust the Lord, and we'll have to do it all as a family, work together. Mm-hmm. So he left his job, and how you get, I wouldn't say it's a job, going around, but there's a thing called deputation, and every missionary out there would know exactly what it is. It is probably, it weeds out a lot of people, you could say. A lot of people don't want to go around, don't want to make the time to call the pastors of different churches, don't really want to put the miles on their vehicle. I mean, we knew some missionaries that had 300,000 miles on one vehicle, and it was still running. Mm-hmm. So you have to do a thing called deputation, and what that is exactly is you start getting a list of churches that, if they're not local, they're able to be driven to. So you call the pastor, set up a meeting. That meeting, then you go and you present your ministry. And what that basically is you have some slides, you have some pictures, you have something as to inform them of what you're going to be doing in South Africa.
Okay.
So, and that's called deputation. You go to the church, you present your ministry, you throw it before the church, and if they like you, they like the family, they like anything about you, and they just have a burden on their heart, they'll take you on for support. It could be...
That means they'll just start, out of their offerings and stuff, they'll start paying
Yes, sir.
You. So what was your dad's ministry?
His ministry first was going around deputation. His second was a pastor missionary. And what that is he's going to South Africa as a missionary. He's going to get a church started. He's going to pastor that church. And while he pastors that church, he's going to train a young evangelist to eventually take over that church and then become the pastor. And then he move on. So he's not just staying in one spot his whole time he's in South Africa. He's spreading it out.
Right. Now, was was it your dad's plan that this is like, we'll be here for 3 years, we'll be here for 5 years, or was it like, I don't know how, we'll be here until the Lord
Yes, sir.
sends me on?
You're 100%. Yeah, just be there till he feels a need to move, or, he could stay in the same city and just move to a different part of the city.
Had he done pastoral work or ministry work like that here in the States?
He did ministry work. He was a Sunday school director, I believe it was. I could be wrong on that, but he was the one that would, at the morning service, he would, everyone goes to this class. He would basically direct the Sunday school at our home church in Georgia.
Okay. And do you remember your sisters, your mom, everybody being excited about this, or was there some kind of like anxiety? Was there a little apprehension?
The kids, my brother and sister, we were kind of excited because, like I said in the beginning, it felt like for us, it was a long vacation. We're going to have a blast, and we were actually going to work with our pastor of our home church in the States. It was his daughter and her husband, and they had 3 kids that were in Bloemfontein. So we're like, oh yeah, we're going to be able to, hang out with them, have a good time. It's just going to be like a long vacation.
Yeah. And what denomination were you raised in?
Baptist.
Okay. So your dad is going to go there. The family's going to go there. And let me know when I'm wrong. You're basically going to be heading around, and you're going to be trying to basically get self-support. You're going to go to different churches and ask them, would you please support us? Do you believe in our mission, all that kind of stuff. So that's what you do when he heads there. You're 9 years old, and your sister is probably 7 or 8 at the time. Your older brother is probably 10 or 11.
Right.
All right. And so you get there. What do you start thinking, like the moment you land?
Moment I land, I have very bad motion sickness. So like the moment we landed, man, I was just like, thank God for land. I'm getting off this plane. I'm going home and I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, see.
Did you land in Johannesburg?
Yes, sir. We landed right in Johannesburg, and then from Johannesburg, you take a little smaller plane. I'm sure you're familiar with the smaller planes.
No.
The smaller planes, the more turbulence. That's
Yes.
like one of the biggest things. And oh my goodness, I have terrible motion sickness. So when you're going from like a 500 passenger plane to a small 150 passenger plane, it is a drastic difference, like mild difference.
Yeah. How long is the flight from there to?
My dad and I's last flight from flying off in America to South Africa was 54 hours. That does include the 2 layovers that we had, but it was a total of 52 hours. Yes, sir.
Well, from Johannesburg to, what's the other city that you were in?
Port Elizabeth?
No.
Bloemfontein.
Okay. So how long is that flight?
From Johannesburg to Bloemfontein, it was about 3 hours.
That's the thing about Africa, is that it is so enormous.
Yes, it really is. People forget how big it really is.
I saw one of those things that, like on the map where it shows, like,
here's
you
the
can
continent.
fit 3 United States inside of Africa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We flew from Johannesburg to, we stopped in Senegal.
Okay.
All right?
Yes, sir.
We had flown for 10 hours. I'm thinking we're almost stoned. Like, oh, no, you're still in Africa. 10 hours. I'm still in it.
No, he's right.
So it was crazy how big this country was. All right. So do you remember your house?
I do. Yes, sir.
What was it like?
Their houses there are all, I don't think we lived in a house that was not gated.
Yeah.
Because of the crime rate there, and I'm sure you're familiar with that, because of the crime rate there, you want to have a protected house. Dad's always big about family, always big about protecting the family. Everyone's here for the family. So you go to South Africa, you do your research before you get there. You want something that you're going to be able to feel comfortable at home in. So every house there was gated. So you'd walk through our gate. For our first house, and South Africans have a weird taste in like designs, graphics, paint, this type of stuff. So our first house actually had like this bright orange living room. Mm-hmm. It had a green bathroom. It had like a yellow kitchen.
Yeah.
So it was different.
Yeah.
So, and our kitchen had chickens on the
painted
chickens on like the cabinets in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So that always stands out for me because and she actually had chickens in her yard too, but our dog got those. So
did you have your own room?
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay. Oh, and your sister and brother did as well?
Cody shared it with me until we moved the house around a little bit. Cody and I have always shared a room till I think it was like our second or third house there.
Okay, second or third house.
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. We moved 10 times
But
We moved
how long
once
were you
a
there?
year.
You got there when you were 9.
Yes, sir.
You
I just
moved-
turned 10 when we got there.
Okay.
And we moved 8 times? Yeah, 8 times in 10 years.
So you were there for 10 years.
Yes, sir.
So you've been back in the States for about 2 years.
No, sir. I'm going on... Yeah, no, you're right. I'm going into my 3rd. Yeah.
Did you stay in that same city in South Africa that entire time?
No, sir.
Where else did you live?
We started off in Bloemfontein. From Bloemfontein, once there was already a missionary there, once that church got initiated, started, everything was really thriving there. They ordained a pastor, and he took over that ministry. We went from there to Port Elizabeth, South Africa. Once again, there was also some other missionaries there that Dad knew just by word of mouth, by name, wasn't really friends with them. So then we moved there, and then sparked up another ministry with another minister and tried to get that going a little bit better. Not like he wasn't doing a good job or anything, but 2 missionaries versus 1 missionary, obviously 2's better than 1.
Yeah.
So we got that started, and then he resigned, and then from that ministry that he was starting, he resigned from there and then went off and started another one and left Dad with this one to just kind of, get it going, help out a little bit, and then later turned that over to a pastor as well.
Okay. Do you speak Afrikaans?
I speak a little bit. I was telling Jeff actually asked me if I could speak it as well. I did take lessons in South Africa, and it's hard to believe. You always speak English. If you're not speaking a different language like you are English, you forget a lot of it.
Sure.
I mean, I can count in it, I can greet in it, but
So
I could
give me
You gotta
a
swear in it?
greeting.
No, I actually don't. A greeting, "Uchande met jou," and basically what that is how are you doing? And then you would say "Goed en jy," and that is good and you.
Huh.
So,
When I was there last time, they
and you gotta
taught
have
me-
the
Yeah.
because that makes the word. Like they told us when you train, they told us to pretend like you're fixing to spit and go
Fixing this.
right, yeah.
I remember last time I was there, they taught me something to say, like at the end of a meal, like stomach full.
Buy a donkey.
No, it wasn't by a donkey.
Okay. Oh,
I can speak a little. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
Is that the
language is that?
Moulin Rouge song?
Yeah.
Okay,
it
very
is. That's pretty cool.
It's
huh?
impressive.
okay. Buy a
Yeah,
donkey. He kind of ruined the story, but buy a donkey means thank you very much in Afrikaans. That is not a joke. Not even joking with you. That is straight. You
Buy
say
a donkey.
You say buy a donkey at the end of a meal, or it's just thank you very much. Like someone could give you here, take this to the buy a donkey, and then you just walk
Oh,
away.
okay.
I can't remember what it was they taught me, but I knew I wouldn't hold it. But I took a video of it. I'll have to try to find it
Do you
sometime.
know what language it was in?
It was Afrikaans.
Was it?
Yeah. I can't think of it right now.
How do you say, is your daughter 18?
I have no idea.
Oh, damn.
Dude, you're an idiot.
He would never ask that question. So, so you're there for 10 years. Did you have a girlfriend while you were there?
No, I never dated there.
Did you have a boyfriend while you were there?
No.
No.
No girlfriend, no boyfriend, nothing. I mean, you get there, and that was a big, I wouldn't say class. An American coming to South Africa, they instantly think money. That was the funniest thing when we got there was Dad called it the accent discount. Any South African can tell a difference between a South African accent and an American accent. I mean, it's
sure.
just 100%. It's easy. You say 4 words and the person can tell who you are. So you'd go somewhere, and Dad actually tested this, believe it or not, and I'm sure you could agree with this. You go somewhere, and there's not always a price. Well, you walk up to the counter, me as an American, oh, how much is that hot dog over there? We'll use that. They don't have hot dogs in South Africa, but we'll just use that as an instance. How much is that hot dog over there? Okay, they hear the accent, 5 rand.
Yeah.
An Afrikaans person walks up, how much is that hot dog? Oh, it's a rand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dad has actually tested that out, and he called it the accent discount.
Yeah.
Just simply because, you're not a native here, you're not from here.
Right.
You know all the prices, you know everything.
That's what I do here, too, when, I'm selling something and somebody has an accent other than Ohio.
Yeah. You jack the price up.
Yeah, like Josh. Oh, my God, it would be 10 times the price.
Right. So, yeah, that was one of the funniest things, the accent discount. I still remember that.
So, do you recall your dad doing ministry while he was there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, sir. I
And-
helped out a lot as well.
Who who were the recipients of the ministry? Like, was it like Africans, the South Africans, like British, or more like actual black African Americans?
Was it Haji in the hut, or was it like other
people are. But I'll answer the question. I know what his question is. So in South Africa, there are white people there.
Sure.
But the people that really we dealt with was the African American black people. Really nice people.
It's funny that we call them the African
I know.
American.
I was just, thank you. I was going to say that, but I was just kind of
So
like
it's just like the
slip.
black Africans, not
You can just say black.
Did you catch yourself? Because I did it too a moment ago.
Yeah.
We call them the African Americans because for us, that's what we call them. And so even there now, we're going to try to call them African Americans.
Because we're Americans. We want everybody to be American.
Everybody.
We're bastards.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. All right. So he dealt predominantly with the black South Africans.
Right. Yes, sir.
And
Skin shouldn't matter, Scott.
no,
And
I'm
they
just
were
trying
actually
to-
Okay, yeah.
They were actually Jeff. Believe it or not, Jeff asked this question the other. Well, I think it was last week. We dealt with a race called colored people,
Yes.
and
correct.
what that is I was trying to explain it to him. I think it was actually in a
Yeah,
video.
yeah, it was.
Was there's white, there's colored, and then there's black.
Yeah.
If you call a white person, let's say they're a little bit darker skin, you call a white person colored, they get really, really highly offended. Just like if you were to call a black person colored. Everyone there was their own class, their own race. You would never want to compare a colored person to a black person because the black people there are the lower class.
Mm-hmm.
So a colored person is, I guess you could use the word mid-class, not upper class, not lower class, but they're not as low as the black people. So that was one of the biggest things that we were struggling with there, is because there's a lot of dark skin coloreds, then there's a lot of light skin coloreds where you would think, not living there very long, okay, he could be like a Mexican type skin color where he's white, but you don't want to say, are you colored, this, or this. You kind of keep those questions to yourself. But there was the 3 different classes, white, colored, and black. And I think, I believe that was in one of your videos.
Yeah. Well, that absolutely fascinates me here because you call any person in the United States colored now, and people would be all over you for being racist.
Right.
Just saying that word.
Correct.
All
All right. It is time.
Dum, dum,
Dun,
dum.
dun.
Oh, dude, that sounds so cool.
It does sound.
Yeah, let me help you.
You can't keep a rhythm. There you go.
All right, everybody. We are here in our studio. There's Mr. Jeff Henson and Josh Lovett. Guys, welcome here. I'm going to turn this light on.
You do that.
All right. So, I don't know if we have any comments will appear below, it says. So, in a moment, some comments are going to come in. So,
All right. Hopefully.
Thus far, we've had a really good session. We've been talking to Josh here about his time in South Africa and all that kind of stuff. And then there's Jeff. So, Jeff, how do you feel like the interview is going so far?
Oh my God, this is just fantastic. Yeah.
Really?
I mean, this is my 3rd time on here,
Yeah.
and I've never had to wear headphones before, and now like Scott came into like the lottery or something.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
he won the Powerball.
Yeah.
And we have this whole setup here and everything. We even have water bottles.
Yeah. So,
I mean, this is like,
we'll just do a
my
little.
God, dude,
we'll do a
this is
little
crazy.
review here. So here is our Mackie mixer board. We have. I don't even know what this component is called over there, but that's how everybody can
Play
adjust
Pro
their
XL.
own. They can adjust their own volumes on their headphones. We've got this beautiful mic here. It's got some nice mics here with little pop filters. It's a great thing. So let me see. So Jeff,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you.
It says Scott is now live with Considering the Source.
Oh,
my
that's
God.
so cool.
So
Yes.
I can watch myself being.
Oh, there it is right there.
All right, so you've been asked a question,
yeah.
Josh. It's
Okay.
The question is, does your fiance watch these videos? Do you have a fiance?
I do.
All right, and does she watch the videos with Jeff?
She's mixed feelings towards it. She's. I mean, I don't want to make her mad or anything, but she doesn't like him because she thinks Jeff makes fun of me.
Yes.
She doesn't know Jeff like I know Jeff.
Yes.
Jeff is not out to get me. He's not out to make me look stupid.
Yeah.
It's. I find humor in it. I mean, it's great. Some days, as we said in the beginning of the interview, that I'll be a little upset. I didn't sleep good last night, didn't get my coffee or something.
Yeah.
And I'll get upset. She thinks that he's just out to get me and make me look like an idiot.
Well, there's probably a little truth in that, isn't there, Jeff?
Well, I mean, somewhat. I mean, the videos transformed from just scaring him to I just found it fascinating his lack of pop culture knowledge of the United States. You know, I mean, he if it didn't happen in the last 5 years, he doesn't know anything about it. You know, like earlier Scott talked about Seinfeld. He's like, I have no idea who that is. And I mean, Seinfeld is one of the, literally quite possibly the most popular sitcom ever.
At least in the United States.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. So it's fascinating to me that he doesn't know that. Which, hey, that's fine. He's like a time capsule. He's literally like he has no. He's older, but he has no knowledge of anything that's really happened. And it's funny. Like the other day, yesterday, I think it was. I asked him about O.J. Simpson, and you know what he said? He goes, "Isn't it a black guy?" I go, "Yeah."
That's all I knew.
Because that's all he knew about him. Because there was the show.
They're doing like a show. I think it's like on Discovery or something. Of
Yes.
O.J. Simpson and the trial or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And he had no idea. He goes, I think he's in court a lot.
That was seriously all I knew.
Yeah, he was for a while there. That was his second.
That was
home.
awesome.
Right, yeah.
So one thing, like, help me out with this one. So there was a video that Jeff posted with you recently, and it was like a Star Wars, and so it was all right. And so the thing came out. I love the look on your face right now.
Right.
So the question is like a spoiler, and the spoiler was you're like, Darth Vader's black. So.
I hate to say this, but I really thought he was black. And then I read it somewhere, or someone told me or something, and they said he was black.
We kind of do fuck with him a little bit with that stuff. I mean,
I could tell. Now, because the truth is, like, when I was watching it, okay, these are the thoughts that went through my head. I'm like, okay, well, he does wear all black.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
He is voiced by a black guy.
I said the same thing.
Okay, but in reality, when you take the mask off, it is a white guy. It is Anakin Skywalker. So that was an interesting one to watch, and it's funny to hear. Now, why did you think that Back in Black was by Journey?
I don't listen to his kind of music.
He doesn't listen to any. That's the other thing too. He doesn't listen to anything. Like 22-year-old dude, you would think would listen to like some sort of like rock or something or whatever. Yeah. He doesn't. He listens to like Miley fucking Cyrus and stuff.
Okay, that was on my podcast, or not podcast. That was on my my iPod at the time. You know, like
but he listens to
Spotify.
like stuff that like my 11-year-old daughter listens to. You know, like Demi Lovato and whatever, and all of this stuff or whatever. Whatever. It's just funny to me because he I don't know, that it's just what he listens to. So he has no concept of any type of modern music, classic music, nothing. I mean, like,
what were you listening to on the drive over here today?
Well, I listened to Jay-Z. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What song was playing?
It was that. I can't even think of the name right now. You caught me off guard. Jay-Z.
Push your shoulders off.
The one with the funky beats.
Well, I played it at work the other day. I can't even think of the name right now.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
But it was Jay-Z. Yeah, he listens to like this rock and roll metal type stuff. I mean, he plays it on his radio, and some songs I know like 4 or 5 words in it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And so you sing that with all your might.
Oh, I do. Oh, I rock the workplace.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So a question pops up here. Ask Josh if he's heard the voice of the Arby's commercial. And did you make the Star Wars connection? I don't think that's the same.
Oh, we got the meats. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, yeah. Now,
yeah, I've heard that.
I love that. I don't think it's the same actor. I don't think that's James Earl Jones, but it is the funniest.
We have the meats.
Oh, and there's a recent one that's out there that is so funny. He gets super, super excited. So let me try something here. I'm going to flip this camera here.
Real quick there, but oh my God, we went to Arby's the other day. This is a total plug. I'm not getting paid by Arby's, but we got those loaded curly fries.
Oh my goodness!
Holy shit, those were awesome.
Those are really good.
Yes,
really good.
Okay.
That's good to know. That's really good to know. Arby's is sponsoring this live feed right now, ladies and gentlemen. I can't remember what I was going to. The newest Arby's commercial is hilarious. If you haven't seen it, you need to Google that. So I'm going to flip back over here now.
Well, now I want to know what it is.
All right. So let's see here. So Josh, somebody also is asking, how old are you?
22.
22. So you're engaged.
I am.
How long have you been engaged?
Since June 23rd of last year.
Okay. And may I ask your fiance's name?
Lindsay.
And
With a Y. She always makes sure to say that. So it's Lyndsey.
Oh, there's 2 Y's.
Yes, sir.
Not just one.
No, sir.
There
She's
are
the
2.
double wire.
A double wire.
Right.
If Elmer Fudd, then she's not a very honest person. She's a double wire.
Double wire.
Yeah.
Right. What is double wire?
Wait, hold on. Who's Elmer Fudd? See?
I don't know.
This is awesome. This is golden,
So,
man.
Bugs Bunny?
Okay.
Do you know who Bugs Bunny
No.
is?
Don't just say okay.
I know. I know.
I know who Bugs
lying.
Bunny is.
Okay.
In the Looney Tunes.
All right, so
Okay.
Elmer Fudd was, I'm hunting a wabbit.
Oh, the dude with the shotgun all
Yes,
the time.
that's
Okay.
And so he doesn't pronounce his L's. All right, so he
Okay.
would say, she's a wire. So she's a double wire. A double liar. Get it?
I get it.
It's not nearly as funny when you have to explain.
No, it's not.
All right, so your brother Scott Henson has now joined. So
Oh, right, yeah. I texted him and told him that.
yeah, so he's watching. So how did you actually ask her to marry you?
Well, we took a trip to Myrtle Beach.
Are we sure it's a girl?
That's a great question.
It is. If you check out my
male or female?
Facebook.
It's 2016, man.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Come on.
Okay. Not that there's
anything wrong with that.
No, not
Again,
at all.
he wouldn't get that Seinfeld reference.
He doesn't get that. He goes along with it. He thinks we're just speaking truth.
Right.
All right. So you
Went
go
to Myrtle Beach,
Yes.
right? They're like, you want to come on vacation? I'm like, sure. You know, I love to get away sometimes. And went down to Myrtle Beach, and they have if anyone's been there, they have a thing called, it's like the boardwalk. And we went at a certain time where there's certain nights, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Tuesdays and Fridays, where they shoot off fireworks.
All right.
So went down to the boardwalk. Her whole family was there. Grandma, grandpa, stepdad, mom, brother. I mean, everyone was
Were her
there.
cousins there?
No.
Then not everybody was there.
Well, I guess not everybody was there. Anyway, go ahead.
No. Okay. Her
he's
niece, no, her nephew. What's her sister's son?
It really doesn't.
Her
matter.
sister's son? Yeah.
Nephew.
That would be nice.
So both her nephews were there too.
Oh, that's good.
Right.
Now, did you know you were going to ask her to marry you?
It was in the back of my head. You know,
Did you have a ring?
I did.
So it's probably a little more than just the back.
Well, I didn't get it. I got it down there. I didn't have it before I went down there.
Oh, you bought it when you were down
I bought
there.
it while I was down there. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right, so tell me.
So went to the boardwalk. Right at the time at the fireworks. I mean, there was tons of people. I mean, anyone that asks, someone to marry you, you get. I mean, it's so nerve-wracking.
Sure.
So her family, they're like, give me the nod. Tell me when you're going to do it. We want to video this. We want to tape it. We want to have this for a memory later on.
Yeah.
So came the time. I looked at her stepdad and I was like, I'm going to do it right towards, how the fireworks always have the finale.
Yeah.
So we're on this really cool bridge that like overlooks this jet boat that just keeps flying underneath, and got down on one knee and asked her to marry me.
And what happened?
And she starts crying. She's a very emotional person.
Yeah.
She starts crying. Actually had her nephew in her arms at the time. He wouldn't let her go because he was scared of the fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of messed up the photos a little bit, but, he was young. But, glad he was there for her and all that. But, yeah. She
So she
started
said
crying.
yeah.
She said yes.
Oh, congratulations. And so, like, do you have a date set?
I do. June 17th of this year.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Wow, a lot of time for you to blow it. Now,
I hope I don't.
the question is,
come
did
close.
you ask her dad's blessing?
I did. Over the phone, though.
Oh.
Yeah.
He still said yes.
He did. I've met her dad.
Wow.
Her dad's a really cool guy.
Maybe you should have texted him.
No, he's like a really hardcore guy, but like really nice. If that makes sense.
Was it at least FaceTime or it was actually just a phone call?
No, it was just voice.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
And I
That
told
does
him on
not
the
bode- that does not
and I
bode
told
well.
the funny thing is I told him on the phone. I'm like, hey, miss, I won't say his name, but I was like, hey, it's Josh. I was like, I got a random question to ask you. You know why?
Random question.
Random question. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll?
I really did say random. I told him, I was like, I usually do this face to face. I've always
Every
been a
time I ask
face-to-face.
somebody, every time I ask somebody to marry me,
The other 3 times I've done face to face, but this time I just can't. So.
I've only asked one person. For real, dead serious. Not even
she
joking.
is the one, or there's somebody else?
No, she is the one person that I've asked. I'm getting so confused. So I called her dad. I said, I really did say this is something I usually do over the phone. Or, it's a face-to-face, but I was over the phone. And I asked him, and funny thing is when I asked him, I was like, I'd like your blessing to marry your daughter.
Yeah.
And he kind of chuckled, and he's like, no. Oh, my goodness, my heart dropped.
Really?
I'm not even joking. And it, paused for, it felt like 5 minutes. He said it was, 2. And then he starts busting out laughing. He said, no. He says, you're a great guy. I'd be honored for you to be my son-in-law.
How long have you guys been together?
We've been together 2.5 years.
So pretty much as soon as you got back from South Africa, you met her.
Yes, sir. Actually, at the church my dad pastors now.
And that church is what and where is that church?
Graham Road Baptist Church, and it is on Graham Road in Cuyahoga Falls.
Okay. And you met her there.
I did.
And when you saw her for the first time, Josh, when you saw Lindsay
goodness,
with
she
two
was
Ys,
gorgeous.
is that right?
Yeah, she was blonde at the time.
She's
Not
what
that
now?
that's man, that sounds so bad. She was blonde at the time. I'm
Yeah.
a big guy for blonde girls. Or blonde, her is the girl blonde.
Only her now.
Right.
No other ones.
Only her. She was blonde. Oh, stunning.
Yeah.
Very stunning.
What color's her hair now?
It's ombre, I think is what they call it. And it's like a dark it's actually
Ombre.
That's what it's called, if I'm not mistaken.
Ombre.
Back in our day, we called it roots, where it was like it's like half color.
Yes. Yeah. Oh,
You know,
Jeff's
like-
right on page with this.
like-
it's like a dark purplish red on the top.
Yeah.
And then hers
It
fades
fades.
into blonde.
So
I
you
think it
find
is called ombre.
So if I'm understanding you, you find it less stunning now.
No.
I mean, no. You said when she was blonde, she was stunning, and now
I mean-
is that what I'm hearing?
Oh my goodness, it sounds hard. Okay, she's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. She's
Okay.
stunning. Always will be stunning. She's,
Sure.
the
As long as there's some
apple of my
blonde,
eye.
as long as there's some blonde in there.
right. Oh my goodness, but she dyed her hair purple, and I had to lie to her. I said it was nice. Oh, it was horrible.
This is live.
You can edit that out though, right?
No.
Yeah,
this is
later.
live right now.
Later. Yeah,
Okay.
Just see.
It was blonde, or it was purple.
It's
I
okay to
didn't
like
it.
something better than another thing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
That's
no, this
all.
was
I mean,
bad. This was bad.
I just got to tell you, for the very first Facebook Live that we've done at Considering the Source, this is fantastic.
This is awesome.
This is such good stuff.
Sure.
This
She's
is
Gonna hate
amazing.
me.
So no,
Well, I don't know if she's probably not watching it, right?
Yeah,
She will later.
She'll watch it later.
Yeah,
So,
it's all right.
well, you know what? Hey, June's a long way away. You can
Ask
for
another
forgiveness.
blonde.
All right.
No, I'm just
exactly.
kidding.
There's tons of blondes out there, dude.
I'm going to see if there's
Who
any
cares?
more questions here.
Okay.
Looks like my friend Dan Buell has recently joined the chat here. So I'm going to hold on here for another. We've already been on here live 14 minutes.
Rock on.
I know.
Okay.
So let me see if there's any other questions. Do you guys have any questions, Josh or Jeff? Do you have any questions for me or any questions for each other that you'd like to ask during this live feed?
No, I think you nailed the first one. I've never asked Jeff, what did you think of me when I first started working with him? That was...
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't even think of anything about anybody until they're there a little while, and get a sense of them and the whole bit. And when anybody starts anywhere, it's you don't get a sense of them until probably 2 months in. Everybody's on their best behavior. They don't really want to say anything, bad, whatever. They kind of watch their mouth. They, what I mean? You feel awkward until you feel out the place and see that it, making sure that people are cool there and everything. And, you can, use a few certain words or phrases or expressions or whatever,
Yeah.
so.
He's a pretty clean kid.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I mean,
God,
I
yeah.
don't
Everything
really-
is yes, sir, no, sir.
Yeah,
this and
it's
that.
sickening. I mean,
it is
how
sickening,
respectful
right? I know.
he
is,
is.
right?
And he's the anti-you.
He is.
Right, and I think that's why we clicked so much. Like bros.
I mean, like he has hair. You have no hair.
Right.
Oh, but he did. When I first got
Yeah,
there,
when I first-
he had hair, not even joking, to the center of his back. Oh, yes, sir. His badge picture still has his original face. I mean,
My
his
original face, but
like,
not this face.
like
the old face.
picture of his hair and
Yeah.
stuff.
So somebody's asking, why do you look so much like Scott Henson?
Why?
Yeah.
It's his brother.
It is?
Yeah.
What? Oh my God, I don't know. It's funny because, I noticed that too. It always used to be the joke between us that we didn't look alike at all, you know? And now as I get older and I shave my head and everything, and we both have the same haircut and everything, well, just no hair and everything, we do look a lot alike. It's weird.
Now he's like some triple black belt, like Jean-Claude Van Damme kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
So
I can still kick his ass, though.
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah, absolutely.
That's
He
very
does
interesting.
karate?
Yeah.
Oh, his brother, yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
He's badass.
What's Kimbo?
Kenpo.
Oh.
He's he's
Third degree?
No, it's like
That's Kung Fu Panda, right?
Sixth.
Is he
or
on right
seventh
now?
Degree.
Yes, Scott, I think, did
What's
check
his
in.
rank?
6th or 7th black belt.
Isn't it called Dan or something? 6th Dan, 7th Dan?
I don't
I think so.
He in Kenpo. So he's one of the top in the.
We're losing listeners now with this nonsense. I'm just letting you know.
Okay, he could kick both our asses at the same time. Let's put it that way. That's what it all boils down to.
He's a bad man, but he looks
very
so
unassuming.
nice. He looks so unassuming.
Very unassuming. Yeah. Like the one time at church. Remember at Polaris.
Yeah.
He did something on stage before with Alex.
Okay.
I think it was Alex and. Or one of the pastors there, Alex, or one of the guys.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway, regardless, he was he did something like some sort of show with them or whatever.
He demoed
and it really freaked him out, like because he was so fast and everything. And my brother's very unassuming. You would never think that. Just like looking at him, he's very kind of meek and mild and everything.
But
he'll
extremely,
kill you. Yeah, exactly. He'll rip your heart out and show it to you before you die.
He answered. He said he's 6th degree.
6th degree, black belt.
He is
there you go.
He is a bad man.
Yeah.
When was the last time that you and Scott got into a physical fight?
Me and Scott?
Yeah.
A physical fight?
Yeah.
I don't know. It must have been when we both still lived at home. I don't know. We were probably teenagers, I'm sure.
But he wasn't like a 6th degree then.
No, he wasn't.
Who won back then?
Usually he did. He was still.
Are you older or younger?
He's 4 years older than me. So yeah.
I used to get.
Scott pointed out that it was actually Alex. Alex.
Alex.
That was the.
There you go.
Was the guy. All right. Well, I'm going to see if there's any more questions. I'll give this. We're going to do this till 20 minutes. So there's a minute.
Okay.
There's a minute and 20 seconds left. So Josh, any closing words on your very first experience with considering the source?
It's been awesome.
All right.
Great time.
Yeah.
Really fun.
Have you ever had to have EMT come and save you in any kind of situation? Like they pull up in that thing with the lights on top of it. What's it called?
Ambulance?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that thing.
An ambulance?
What?
An ambulance?
Ambulance. Would you spell that?
No. No, because this was one of his.
Ambulance.
Yeah. Ambulance.
An ambulance.
Ambulance.
There we ambulance.
Yeah, we tried to work on this one.
Now,
it doesn't work.
Listen,
We did try to work on it.
I say that this is part of the South Africa thing.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. That they taught you wrong. That's how I look at it.
No,
all right.
what, I had a question though, real quick. You said you didn't have a girlfriend when you were in South Africa and everything. Did you have the internet over there?
Yeah.
Or anything? Oh, okay. So you did.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was just making sure because I didn't know how. It's funny because like the whole full circle thing. Like when you were a kid over here, when we were growing up and everything, if we didn't have access to our dad's Playboys, we had to look at National Geographic, which were like naked black women from Africa.
That's a good
or the
story.
Sears catalog.
We need to be reminded about that one. That's a good story about naked black women in South Africa.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not even kidding.
Yeah.
I think I told Jeff about this one.
All right. Well, what we're gonna do?
Okay.
I'm sorry to all the listeners. We're gonna go ahead and save this for the podcast.
Okay.
Okay.
So
stay tuned.
Yeah. If you've enjoyed this 20-minute session, let me go ahead and move this way.
That's
hope you guys have enjoyed this 20-minute live feed with Consider the Source. This is our first time doing this. This has been great. So we already had almost another 40 or 50 minutes of the conversation earlier. So be sure and check this out. I'll be putting this up probably the next week or so. But thank you guys for tuning in, and maybe we'll do this again sometime. So thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next time. Remember, everyone has a story.
That's his tagline.
That's my tagline.
He was so serious about that one, too.
I know, he is.
Yeah,
look
I
at
don't
that.
play around.
He like turns into a beast mode.
I actually have some things I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
Oh.
Wait, did you want to hear about the black women?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Like now?
Yeah, sure. This is a good story.
There's two of them. That one of them, Jeff will actually be surprised because I never told him this
cool.
one.
All right.
So we'll start off with the first one. In South Africa, a lot of women carry their babies on their back. It does hurt the babies a lot. They put it on their back. I'm not sure if you've seen this. And then they take a towel and like tuck it under its butt so it sits like on the towel like a chair and wraps around their stomach. Mm-hmm. That is how they carry their kids around. And we're going through the mall. Women there don't have, I don't know what the word is, where they don't really care about everyone seeing them. I don't know what that word. Modesty. They don't have a lot of modesty there. And the black lady's walking through the mall. I'm young. I don't really know what's going on. And all of a sudden, her baby starts whining on her back. And when they carry them, they'll pick a shoulder, like, okay, the baby's head will sit on the left or right shoulder. And all of a sudden, the baby starts crying. And this black woman reaches inside of her shirt, grabs her boob, and throws it up on her shoulder. I'm not even joking with you. That is the God's honest truth. Throws it up on her shoulder, and the kid grabs it with his hands and then starts getting breastfed in the mall.
Yeah.
Okay, this isn't like
Right
going
there
to
by
Beechwood.
Chick-fil-A.
Right.
Exactly. Oh my goodness.
That is not even a joke. That's a God's honest truth.
Okay. All right. What's the other story?
And then the other one was...
Wait, hold on. Let me ask you a question. Were you hungry? When you saw this, did you think...
No, I think I lost my appetite when I seen it. I've never seen one sag that low. I mean, it was really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
All right. So...
The second one is, there was a city called Port Elizabeth, or East London, and it was 3 hours from Port Elizabeth, and they believed that a certain time of the year, it slips my memory what time of the year it was, that you have to cleanse yourself in the ocean water. It's some type of ritual, something that they believe in.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Dad's like, let's go down to the beachfront, is where all the tourists go. And
So your dad knew this was going to happen, and he said,
No, not at all.
Let's have a family outing.
Right, let's have a family outing and check this out. So it's where all the tourists go. There's a lot of different there's a lot of guys that carve stuff, and it's all right there. So we're walking down to the beach, in the sand, checking out the rocks and everything. And Dad had his binoculars, just checking to see, because there's always some type of animal, if it's a shark, a whale, a dolphin, something like that, just out there. And all of a sudden, Dad starts, scanning the area, and then he scans his binoculars this way, and there's 4 women, black women, right? 4 black women, bathing in the ocean,
Naked.
totally naked.
Yeah.
And Dad asked later on to one of his friends, what was this? I mean, they were literally in a pool cleaning themselves, and Mom's like, oh, let's turn it around and go back to the car.
How old were you with that?
I was probably 14, maybe.
Did you put that in the spank bank?
No, not at all. There's no attraction to that. And
Okay.
they were,
All right.
no
You don't be
offense,
racist.
they were a little bit heavier women.
They weren't blondes, is what you're saying.
Totally
Let's
not
say that.
blondes, right? They were definitely not blondes. And they believed that you cleanse yourself for some reason, and you have to do it in the ocean.
Yeah,
totally
fine.
naked.
Whatever.
And
That's fine.
I believe that I just do it in the shower every day. Yeah, whatever.
Well, I love those are good.
Right.
The first one's definitely better. So she threw her
Definitely,
boob.
right,
She
yeah.
threw her boob up on
over
her
her shoulder. Well,
That's
on
fantastic.
Her shoulder.
I mean, the kid can just stay
That's
there.
awesome.
It's like a
I
juice
know,
box.
man. That sounds awesome.
It's a
Now
South
they get
African juice
If
box.
my wife could just support me on her back, man, I'd be set. That'd be
And it does
awesome.
create bow-leggedness too, from them being on
poor
their
kids.
backs so long.
Really?
Wow.
Oh yeah.
So what is this? Why have you not seen Shawshank Redemption or The Breakfast Club?
I don't know. I don't really watch movies that are older than me, or that were made around the same year as me.
I wish that the audience could see the look on my face
know,
as
right?
my eyes immediately rolled
Yes,
deep
they
into the
did.
back of my head as soon as you. I don't watch movies that are older than me. All right, let me tell you something. Let me tell you this. All right.
Right.
If I had to say a movie that you have to see, and as a Christian, a movie that you need to see,
Okay.
Shawshank Redemption.
I watched most of it. When he
did.
he gave me a weekend thing and asked me a couple questions about it.
Yeah.
I forgot them now, but
he fell asleep
Right.
at the last hour.
yeah. And he said
So
that was
that's
like
the
the
problem.
best part.
Yeah.
All right, you need to You
Yeah.
need to go watch that again.
That's the problem. So he
You
didn't
could
really
probably.
see it.
I can't believe I'm saying it, but you could probably skip Breakfast Club because your high school experience in South Africa probably wasn't similar to this one, and you're still so young.
That's true, but in the same respect, it would give you a very good perspective as to what most people's high school's perception is.
Yeah.
Or
Right.
what they go through and
Yeah,
everything.
but it'd be like
High
me
School
when I
Musical.
was younger and somebody.
No, it's not like fucking High School Musical.
it's nothing.
We don't.
No.
We never ever
No.
want like that's always. I always say that to my wife. Like she's always like, because she loves Grease, and she always said that's how she used to picture high school.
Yeah.
I go, no, I never pictured high school us breaking out in a song randomly. No, it never happened. Never. No. High school sucked. And it's not like High School Musical. It's not like Grease. No, not at all.
Have you seen the new Grease coming out?
No. The live one that they just had on TV?
I don't know. But there's
You
there's
saw a
a
commercial
new one
for it.
with like tons of actors. Like
that was
are in it.
a live. They
Yeah.
did that like last
Oh,
weekend.
so it's already done?
It's already
Yeah.
done. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a season or something. Well,
No.
that sucks.
No, it's actually good that you missed it.
No, not like I'd go watch it, but I just
Right.
Well,
Well, because it's older than you. But it's now.
no,
it's not
now
older.
it's not.
Now
Yeah,
it's not.
now it's
older.
not.
So
Interesting.
yeah. So he would probably be more.
Because they redid it.
Right.
So you would be more likely to watch the new Footloose rather than the old Footloose.
Right, and I have seen the new Footloose.
Oh, God.
Jamming out in his Beetle.
And not the old Footloose.
No. I didn't even know there was an older one.
God,
So
I
tell
would
me
bang
this
my
joke
head against
about
that fucking
tell me this joke about the person getting coffee. The wife brings the husband
Oh,
coffee.
man. Okay, I'm going to try and remember it. Oh, you caught me off guard with this one. Okay, so the wife
I do my research, Josh.
Right. The wife wakes up in the morning and she wants to make her husband coffee.
Tell you what. I'm gonna tape this. This will go on the Facebook
I can't
YouTube
even. I'm
page.
trying to. Well, good, because it gives me time to think about it.
Hurry up, get it out.
I know.
Okay.
All right. So tell me this joke about coffee. A woman brings her husband coffee. So tell me this joke.
Okay. So the woman wakes up in the morning and she always makes her husband coffee or something. And she makes coffee and the husband tries it and he says it tastes like dirt. And she says, because I grounded it this morning. No, see, I messed it up again. Oh man, I forgot. I forgot what the joke is. Okay, so she wakes up, makes coffee.
Right.
He tries it. It tastes like dirt. That's because it was grounded. Oh, I can't even help me out here. Oh no! He tries the coffee. It tastes like dirt, and she says because it came from the ground. Or no, it's something about the ground. I swear. Okay, because it was in the ground this morning. I think that was the joke.
That's a good one.
In the ground this morning.
It was
No, it was ground.
ground
This
there you go.
morning.
Ground this morning.
That's a good one.
Totally nailed it.
Totally nailed
You know
it.
any other jokes?
No. I don't know many jokes.
Okay.
I don't tell many jokes.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Well,
All right, that was good.
If I think of one, I'll raise my hand.
So, what did you do on MLK Day or MLK Junior Day?
I worked. Yeah.
Well, which was it? Did you work on MLK Day or MLK
No, I think
Junior
it was.
Day?
I think it was junior.
Are you gonna? But being from Africa like that, are you going to take off MLK Senior Day?
I don't take off either of those days. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's it's just another day. Some people be like, oh,
Which of the two do you think is more important, the senior or the junior?
I've heard the junior probably, but I mean, even the senior has like roads named after him and stuff. So I think, yeah, because there's like a Martin Luther King Drive, and then there's a Martin Luther King Jr. Drive.
Mm-hmm.
But these are from Georgia, so I don't know if people would know those up here.
Right? They don't know who Martin Luther King is up here.
That's really, wow.
We don't give a shit.
So yeah, I don't celebrate either
We
of
just
those
won the
days.
war. That's all.
What color hair would you say that you have?
Strawberry blonde.
You would say that your hair is strawberry blonde.
Oh yeah, all day.
All day.
Now we'll have to agree with Jeff. As painfully as it sounds, when I can grow facial hair and it comes out, it's more of like a darkish strawberry blonde.
No, it's red. And when he grows facial hair, it looks like that episode of Beavis and Butthead where like they shave their pubes and like glued it onto their face. You know, it's like in patches.
Okay, it's
you
not
know?
that bad.
And
I have these two sides that come out right here. They just never grow hair. I can't.
He's 22. Give him
well,
time.
yeah.
Well, no, because my brother was 21 and he had this massive Duck Dynasty beard.
So he got the beard genes and you got...
Nothing.
Well,
Just
So,
looks.
okay, so
looks.
what color hair would you describe my hair color as being?
Salt and pepper, a little bit.
Okay.
Black.
All right.
Looks like we're
No,
gonna do this
he's
alone.
got a good look. I mean, he's got like the comb.
Yeah.
He's got the Justin Bieber look.
No,
So-
Yeah.
don't insult
He's-
because that
yeah.
actually I would how old are you?
That's Justin
45ish somewhere around
46,
there?
yeah.
Old.
Yeah, I would definitely rock that haircut at 46.
So, but there's this color. There's blonde and there's this other one.
Oh, brunette.
What is it?
Yeah.
Brunette.
I'm sorry,
Lindsay-
talking to the mic.
Lindsay had brunette for a while, but then she went to ombre.
Well, could you spell brunette?
No. Oh! See, I get worked into these things. It's Burnett. No.
That's what you just said. You said brunette.
What is
Oh,
it?
we just had a video on this. Okay,
we did.
blonde and brunette. No, blonde and brunette. No. Brunette.
Very good. Now,
I'm like in
I just,
school all
can
over
I just say
again.
something here
Yeah.
real quick? I love this. This absolutely makes my day just for the fact that if I was always watching my videos and everything, I would think I was making this up. You know, but now you see that I'm not. This is gold, right?
Yeah. This is good stuff. This is
I
good
forgot.
stuff.
See, I forget about when I came here. Like, you know, it's
Right,
I wouldn't say it's nervous, but you forget like Jeff's past videos.
I was like, yeah, he's just gonna, you know,
you
talk
get
about,
you get me right into the moment. We talk and we go right into it.
I will tell you, the MLK thing is still my favorite. So
Yeah, so I don't know if there is a senior date.
okay,
Right.
okay, there's not, Josh. There,
Well, I asked him, and I had people that I guess he talked to. Yeah, it totally is.
Yeah. It
and this is where Lindsay is right. Like sometimes they're making fun of you, but
Right.
But here's the thing. And I think Josh and Jeff and I are very similar in this way. If we're teasing you, it's because we like
Exactly.
you. If we
Yeah.
didn't, that's the problem. That's when I
That's
want
when
to
you
do
should be
it.
scared.
That's the assholes who may cry at work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I think this is going to be my last question, or potentially questions for you.
Okay.
And there's probably going to be questions that follow from it. But
Okay.
I want you to tell me, like, when you think about yourself and your life, what are 3 areas that you feel like you are probably the closest to being like an expert on? Or what are 3 areas in your life that you think I'm very knowledgeable on? For instance, it could be about cars, or it could be about religion, or it could be about building those boards. What are some areas in your life that you feel like I'm very knowledgeable on these?
Wow,
Topics.
this is weird. I
Yeah, he's never even asked me this. Okay.
I never asked him that either.
I'd probably say cars. I mean,
Okay.
I liked. He's ridden in my car.
I saw
You know,
that
It's
video.
like a fucking spaceship.
It's
dude.
got got some performance part. I love working on my cars. I've had quite a few cars that I've just tried to make them bigger, better, faster.
Okay.
So I'd probably say cars, and I like to play guitar. So
Like
I
acoustic or electric?
Right, electric acoustic. So it has the pickup in it.
Yeah.
Acoustic, electric, and I play some guitar. I'm not an expert in it by any means, but probably cars.
Scott plays too.
Do you?
Yeah, I can. I play chords.
Okay, I'm with you. I don't do this finger picking all the way down the frets and all that.
Watch this. Do you know who U2 is?
No, I do not. This wasn't one of the
That's
questions
unfortunate.
either. Yeah. Oh wait, no, because
Here he goes.
you have Apple,
Yes.
Right?
and U2 sent out
Their
an album.
Oh,
Over
there you go.
yes.
That's how he
That's
knows.
correct.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay, very good.
So you have that album.
Oh, I don't know if it's still on my phone, but I think I do.
You never listened to it.
You should
I've-
listen to it. It's very good.
Is it? It sounded so old. It really did. Like, for some reason, you know, you can set your iPhone onto like shuffle.
Yeah.
Oh, one of those came up. I'm like, what is? I go from like a really nice song to then like.
Okay, here's my
It kinda
here's my advice
killed
for
my
you, and my advice for all my listeners about that album. U2, I think it's called "Songs of Innocence." There are 3 songs, sort of like in the middle of that whole album, and they are called. Let me see if I can remember this.
This podcast brought to you by U2.
By U2.
Oh, I do have it.
So the 3 middle songs I think are called "Volcano." There is another one right after that. I can't think. It's called "Cedarwood Road."
Yes.
And what's the other one right in between those 2?
Raised by Wolves.
Raised by Wolves. Listen to these 3 songs. These are fantastic. These are fantastic modern songs. No. They're really, really good. And I'll tell you this, Raised by Wolves is like, it's telling a really, really cool story.
Look at that
Raised by
album
Wolves.
cover, though. It's like
It's awesome is what it is. That's the word you're looking for.
that's U2.
That's U2 right there. So, all
I
right,
have a question.
Yes, sir.
Looking at the album, why is it 4 dudes in the background, but then one dude is like hugging another dude's stomach?
Oh, that's a great question.
Are they?
The cover, no.
Okay.
The cover is, so the
You see what I'm saying?
So the person is standing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
We'll start with the person who's hugging.
Okay.
That's the drummer, Larry Mullen Jr. The person who's being hugged is Larry's son.
So it's a father-son
The
type of-
idea is of like protecting the son's innocence.
He could have put a shirt on.
He could have, but I think that would have looked. I don't know. Listen, everybody. Art sometimes is a roll of the dice. Sometimes it makes perfect sense. Sometimes it's creepy.
Right. U2's
So,
creepy.
all right. So you said you would consider yourself an expert or knowledgeable about cars,
Right.
guitar playing,
Guitar.
and a third.
I don't know. I like
Making love.
watches. Yeah, no, that would be Jeff's. I
According,
like watches. You know, I know a little bit about watches.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that the what?
The Apple Watch.
That's the Apple Watch.
Yes, sir.
How long have you had that?
I've had it since Christmas. Lindsay got it for me.
With 2 eyes.
Lindsay with 2 eyes.
Yes. I thought he said eyes. I was like, whoa, no, it's wise.
She doesn't have 2 eyes?
No, it's just 2 wise.
Oh.
Only has
Wow.
one
No
eye.
Because
wonder
see-
she's with you. She's blind.
No, not eyes as in eyes.
Well, I asked you very clearly.
Yeah,
I
but
said, does she have 2 eyes? And you said no. Didn't you?
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Okay, she has 2 Y's in her name.
Yes.
Not
There you
2
go.
eyes in her name. She does have 2 eyes on her face.
Okay. What color are her eyes?
Blue, like really blue.
Are they spectacular?
Oh yeah.
What if she changed the color of her eyes? Would you find her less?
Well, she's already changed her hair color.
So this is next, right?
I don't know.
Mm.
Her eyes are like her winter though. I mean,
That's the
she
winter.
has to keep those.
Okay.
I mean, they're like dark blue. Oh,
Nice.
they're great.
Gee, you want us to leave you alone for a minute?
No, I mean,
So your car.
Right.
Tell me about this car you currently are in.
it is a Mini Cooper S,
What year is that?
an 09.
Okay. How long have you had it?
I've had it going into my second. March will be 2 years.
Okay.
think it's like March
car.
22.
Favorite car you've ever owned?
You know, that I've owned, yes, but I loved my mom's car in South Africa. It was really nice.
What was it?
A Mercedes.
Yeah. Well, there's
Yeah.
tons of Mercedes all over the place in South Africa.
No, not really.
Why?
Well,
Why is it?
I will say I've spent most of my time in Johannesburg.
I will have, he has a good
Santon
point.
and Cape Town.
Right. BMWs, how here in America, like not everyone drives a BMW. In South Africa, there's a lot of people that drive BMWs.
I saw more Mercedes.
Would you really?
At least in Santon, which is just a suburb
Right.
of Johannesburg, and Cape Town. Have you been to Cape Town?
Yes, sir. Many times.
Did you go up on Table Mountain?
I climbed Table Mountain.
Really?
Yes, sir. From the furthest point to the top. You know it. You've ever climbed it?
No. I took the little.
Oh, come on. Okay, you know
you
the
kidding
little,
me?
the shack that's up there that you can buy stuff at?
Yeah.
Well, we started from all the way at the bottom. I'm not sure if you still remember, but that Weavy Road that goes up to the
Yeah,
top.
yeah.
Well, that bottom, there was that right-hand side that you could park at.
Yeah.
We thought that was where it started. And then there's a trail starts there, your big map. We started there and climbed it all the way to the top.
How long did it take? you?
Never, this is the funny part, never took water, never took any snacks, never took nothing. It took us, I believe it was 8 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, sir. Straight climbing. And we're about, me, young, stupid. I'm like, Dad, I'll see y'all at the top. I'm doing this. I'll meet up with y'all later. I start taking off. Oh my goodness. You've seen Table Mountain. It is an uphill climb. It is serious stuff. I'm in tennis shoes, jeans, hoodie, a little bit cold. It was during the winter season. And no water. So we meet up with Dad because Cody and I, my brother, we stopped at a certain point because, there's lots of waterfalls up there. I mean, you'd love taking pictures of that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
And Dad said we met someone on the way that had an extra water bottle. And those fountains and stuff that were coming out of the rocks, the best tasting water you'll ever taste in your life.
Mm.
And they gave us a water bottle. We finished it, got to the top, took a couple photos, and came back down. Came back down the shortest route, too.
But you actually walked off the mountain. You didn't take that.
No, sir.
Cable,
We did not
cable
take
car.
that cable car. No, sir. We walked the whole thing from start to finish.
Did your dad insist that you refer to people as yes, sir?
It
Sir,
was how I've always been. I don't know if it was his military background or what, but
But he was
always...
military.
Oh, yes, sir.
Does your brother do it?
Oh, yeah.
Does your sister?
And Christina, yeah.
Really?
Yes, sir.
It's very endearing. It is. Do you know what I mean by endearing?
That means good.
Yeah.
It's very good.
I was literally going to use the same word. It's good. You like it.
Yeah. Any questions you have for Josh? You'd like to get on the record?
On the record, I don't know. I mean, I've asked so many all the time.
Just keep watching his videos, right?
I
He'll
can't-
come up with one.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
The problem becomes like end of April. Josh's contract is up.
Right.
So he's a contractor. He's just a temp, and that's the other problem we have is that we get all this contract work and everything in there, and we can only keep them for so long because of something with the lawyers and all the bullshit and everything. If we keep somebody longer, then they think that they can sue us, or it's something with a Microsoft or Apple thing, that happened a while ago, or whatever,
Okay.
that all these people had worked there as contractors for so long, but then they filed a lawsuit saying that they were eligible
For all intents and purposes, we're actually full-time employees.
yeah, exactly. So So we have to, if we can't hire somebody,
You have to let him go.
we have to let them go, and then after 6 months they can come back.
As a contractor again.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So yeah, that like you said, the end of April's my contract's up, and I'll be.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to like really get a whole bunch of videos and everything.
Hopefully, I
Kinda
stick
space
around
them out.
longer though.
Hopefully,
Because they could hire him at the end of that time. Is that correct?
They could.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
I mean, in theory they could, but it's crazy, dude. We've hired one person in 8 years.
So what are you going to do during that 6 months? Like, this almost seems like a foregone conclusion that it is certainly going to happen.
Right. I'm not going to say that I'm the best guy out there, but I guess, Dad, with the respect that I have the longest time I've went without a job was a week. So it's not hard for me to get a job.
So you'll find something.
Right.
Well, Josh, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Yes, sir.
It really was. It really was.
It's
fun.
good. You know,
It
I was a
really
little
fun.
nervous coming into it when he asked me to do it, and I was like, I'll do it. It'll be fun for all of us.
Absolutely.
So,
And I guess why I think you're a great guest on Considering the Source is that looking at you, a person wouldn't think this kid spent 10 or more years in South Africa, another continent, knows another language entirely. I'm confident that I could sit down here with you for another hour. I'm not going to, but I could sit down here with you another hour and just like hear the stories of the ministry and the things that you saw while your dad was there. And I bet there were some pretty amazing things. Stories of you riding on elephants and catching zebras in your backyard. I mean, I bet you have all those kind of stories.
yes, sir.
But
It's pretty close.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
there was
sure.
actually our friend missionary, not to make a joke or anything, actually went and rode elephants. You go through the woods and ride elephants. That's not even a joke.
Did you have a pet monkey?
No, sir. We just had border bulls. That was it.
What?
Border bull. We had 2 of them. It's a
what?
dog. It's a dog.
A border bull?
A border bull. Yes, sir.
You're
Say it
saying it
slower.
so fast.
Border bull.
Bull?
A boar bull, I guess you could say, but you have to roll the R for the actual pronounce to the.
Something tells me you're pronouncing it
Wrong.
wrong.
No,
Instead
it
of
is-
Yes, with your history.
It is
wrong.
called a border bull. That is 100%.
But that's an African. Is that
That
how
is
you
the
say it in
African.
Afrikaans?
Yes,
Okay,
but
it's
that's
not-
what it's called. It's
It's
an
a
African.
spanner.
It's an African dog. So
Tell him about the dog.
his name's Zeus.
How big is he?
He's really big.
Is he still alive?
Oh yes. Oh no. We had 2 in South Africa. We fostered them out to people that we knew that needed a nice dog. One went to a farm, and the other one went to a family.
Did it
that
really
we
go to a
knew.
farm?
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say is that.
No,
that's
because
what
they
always-
they have
He's on a
those
farm
dogs.
running around with other dogs.
They have those dogs there to protect the farmer's house there. As I'd said in the beginning, that there's a lot of crime. Well, people that work on the farm, you won't get the most trustworthy person.
Yeah.
They'll break into the farm. You're miles and miles and miles and miles away from any kind of civilization.
Yep.
And they'll rob you, hurt you, stab you, kill you. And those dogs protect you.
How much do those dogs weigh?
Our dog now, I don't want to exaggerate, so I'll just say a number. He's over 220 pounds right now. Yes, sir.
The look on my face
know.
is utter
That's-
shock.
Do you want me to? I know you can't get it on here, but I would
Yes.
gladly show you a
Show
picture
me a
of this
picture,
dog.
and then you can send it to me later, and I can
Okay,
see it.
sure.
Because he told me about that before. Yeah, and I didn't believe him either. I mean, you should
Oh
show me
my
this dog. It's just
gosh.
one of those. It looks. Yeah, it's.
It's and
It's a
believe it or not,
stocky, like
they
one of
seem
those.
like a very vicious dog.
Yes.
Okay, this is Zeus. My brother's in the background. This is Zeus sitting by our couch.
It looks like a mastiff.
It is a type of a mastiff.
Like
it is
in
a
the
little
family?
bit yes, sir, in that family size wise, but it is bigger.
Send me
than
that
a
picture
mastiff.
because it looks like your brother's riding on that dog's back.
There was actually a guy on our we both have Instagram. One of our friends down in Georgia actually took this photo and edited it to where Zeus has a saddle and Cody's riding it.
Because that's exactly what
That's exactly what it looks
Send
like.
me,
Another picture. There?
Okay.
Send me those pictures. I
There's
definitely
another
want to.
picture that was like.
Oh, and then outside.
There you go.
Holy cow.
So these dogs are not. It is not.
It looks like a monster
Overweight by any
Rottweiler.
means.
Did your
Rottweiler.
family have a gun?
Yes, sir. All 3 of us have CCWs. Cody,
But
Dad.
while you were in South Africa?
Yes, sir. It was a hard process to get a
Yes.
hold of because an American wanting to carry in South Africa throws up some flags. Why does this guy want? But he went
Because
to,
you're in South Africa. That's why you wanted.
Yeah, but people don't look at it that you're from South Africa. You don't really think there's a lot of crime. I mean, we're from America. We know the crime rate. Us going to South Africa, us doing the research, they would only put the crime on there.
But the fact that every house has a huge fence and fence is an understatement. This is a huge, like, walled thing with barbed wire along the top. That is an indicator.
That's
this
exactly
might not be
how
the
he
safest place.
described as their house. It was
Yes.
right, big
Yeah.
fence around it.
Gated fence, had a remote,
Everyone.
open the gate up,
Yep.
and you'd go in, the gate would close behind you.
What I was told by a white South African, and I think
Okay.
that there is validity in that, because in my encounters there, you get two different perspectives of South Africa by a black South African or a white South
Yes, sir.
African. Okay,
I agree.
And what they said was, the moment apartheid ended, the crime really started increasing, because there was a rush to come down there, and when that rush happened, all the jobs were gone.
Right.
Now, and so then I got to eat, and so all of a sudden now they're turning to crime. And so hence then all the big fences, all the barbed wire, it's nuts.
Right.
But I'll tell you this, and this goes to all listeners. So I've been to South Africa 2 times. I'll be going back again later this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so I've been to the Apartheid Museum.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys knew this, but Bono actually single-handedly ended apartheid. True. It's true.
Right.
Do you know who Bono is?
No.
He's
But
the
I
lead
know
si-
I know the name.
He's the
and-
lead singer of U2. That's the lead singer of that band, U2.
Wow.
He's a guy who likes to think he's a lot more important than he is.
Well, it wasn't Nelson Mandela,
Yeah,
as
right.
many would have you
Right,
believe.
yes.
It wasn't
He
him.
The
saved
white
the
guy with the
country.
sunglasses.
Yeah, it was this guy, singing "Where the Streets Have No Name."
Right.
That's who
Right.
really ended
Sunglasses.
apartheid. Not some guy in a jail getting beaten every day.
He's dead now.
That is true.
Yes.
Nelson
Nelson
Mandela is
Mandela.
true. And now,
So is Martin Luther
So a
King
couple
Jr.
things I'll tell you about my encounters in South Africa.
Okay.
One, I would work in Sandton, and then which is like Manhattan. All right, imagine Manhattan, and then or imagine better yet, imagine Beverly Hills. That is Sandton, South Africa.
Like Beverly Hills in Los Angeles?
Yes.
Okay.
All right,
No,
and now
Beverly Hills in Cleveland.
now imagine we pick up Beverly Hills. Imagine picking up Beverly Hills
Okay.
and putting it right beside Watts, or putting it right beside Compton. All right, that's what you have with Johannesburg. Like,
Do you know what Watts?
these are very, very poor.
I know there's a movie out straight out of Compton,
Yes,
but I've never actually been there.
Dude, you
It's-
gotta get in a
it's-
different
yeah.
mindset.
Yeah.
Just say ghetto.
Ghetto.
so
in next to a ghetto.
and so what would happen? Each morning, I would have a driver that would take me from the hotel over to wherever I was going to teach for that day. And they were always black South Africans. And so I remember asking them, so did you ever meet or did you ever see Nelson Mandela? And every one of them, without fail, would always like clench their fist, like cheering, like, yes.
Yeah.
Like they were so excited
Yes, sir.
to be able to see that man.
People would travel all over just to say that they've seen Mandela, yeah?
It was crazy. I can't
sad.
think of
Wow.
an American political or celebrities. Yes, but these
Trump?
people.
Not
Yeah,
Trump.
yeah, no. But people viewed Mandela so much differently. Especially, well, and again, I think a black South African viewed him far differently than a white South African. But here's the thing that is probably the most impactful: is when I was there, I went to the Apartheid Museum, and what they've done is absolute genius. Okay, so when you go, have you been to the Apartheid Museum?
No, sir.
Josh? Okay,
I have not.
Well, if you go back and you get to, I highly recommend
Okay.
it. Jeff, you too.
Okay.
So when you go there, you buy a ticket, all right? And you don't look at the ticket really, you just kind of put it in your pocket. And then you walk up probably 50 yards, and now you're going to enter the actual museum. And that's where you are now presented with 2 entrances. Colored and non-colored.
Right. I have heard this.
Okay? And now it says, and there's a person standing there who's going to determine which one you go in. Then you reach in your pocket and you grab your ticket and you flip it over and it will tell you if you are colored or not. It is
You
randomly.
can't just look at your arm and tell
No.
what your skin is?
No.
Oh.
It flips it over and you
Okay.
see what color you are on there. And whatever it is, that's the entrance you get to go into. And this person, the attendant, is going to determine where you go. So I flipped mine over and it was white. So, or non-color. I think it was white and colored. I can't remember exactly what it
Right,
was, but I
okay.
have a picture of it. I can post that on here as well. So I go into the white carousel or the path that I go in. And so there's pictures of, and you can kind of see through, because there's basically chain link fence that's separating the black area from the white area. And so you can kind of see somebody over there walking. You can see some of the stuff. Anyway, I'm looking at all the stuff that, whatever displays they have for the white people. And so I get to the end, and this was the moment. This was the moment where all of a sudden it truly hit me, and this is where I thought, what you just did was so genius. Because the white male American in me said, literally in my brain, well, I want to see what was on the black side. And in my brain, it went, I paid my money.
Right.
I should be able to see.
Oh, so black people don't want to get their money's worth for things?
No. The point is...
What's with the white guilt?
What's going on is I'm so used to getting exactly anything that I want. And
that you pay for.
And what I'm automatically seeing is, with apartheid, we could both pay the same amount, but you're not going to see the same thing that somebody else sees. And my race was just assigned to me. I didn't choose to be white. I didn't choose to be black. It was just randomly assigned to me. And I was able to automatically see something within myself that I felt like I deserved to be able to see everything.
It has nothing to do with you being white, though. Black people would feel the same way. They would want to see what was on the other side.
That's true.
The ironic part of it is most likely because they want everybody to have the same experience, and that's a neat thing to do.
Yes.
You know, to showing the segregation and everything. But I would be willing to bet that the displays were exactly the same on each side.
I was just fixing to ask the same thing. Do you know what they were?
And I don't know.
You don't?
Because I couldn't get over there and I couldn't see.
You couldn't buy another ticket.
Right. That was the thought. But again, I'm going to pay another ticket and it's going to give me another run. It's like, nope, you're still white.
Right.
Son of a... You know?
Right.
But to me, it said something about me. Like, I've always been able to, I should be able to. And I can't tell you that a person who's raised under apartheid necessarily would have had that same reaction. Like that of course I should be able to get this. Maybe because they've been suffering from apartheid so long, they've actually bought in like, I don't deserve to see that. I'm thankful with what I get. I wasn't thankful with what I got. I wanted to see everything, and I deserve it. I'm only speaking for Scott Roark here.
Sure.
This is what was in my mind. And then you continue to go through the rest of but that's the first lesson that it taught you right there. And then you go through the rest of the museum and you see amazing things. You see a room, and all that this room is from the entrance to the exit of this room are nooses where all these black African Americans, these black South Africans
There you go again.
they accidentally murdered, they actually committed suicide while they're in jail. Come on. It's like, these are guys that the cops murdered because they're causing trouble. And it was a really, really cool experience. And if anybody ever gets the opportunity to go there, I highly recommend it. All right, Josh, it's absolutely, this has absolutely been a pleasure. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, sir.
Jeff, thank you for bringing him in here.
Not a problem.
This was so much fun. Thank you so much.
Great tool.
So there you have the interview with my friend Josh Lovett. It was I can't remember laughing that much in an interview. It was really very, very good. And I just want to say thank you so much. This is a great episode to come back from. We've had a long break for a while. We were doing our Kickstarter campaign, trying to raise the money to buy the new equipment, and so this is the perfect one to come back to. I just want to let you know we have a lot more great episodes in store for you, so please continue to stay tuned. Continue to subscribe to this podcast on iTunes. Check out our website for more pictures and video. Don't forget our YouTube page for Considering the Source. Follow us on Twitter. We've tried to reach you on every possible social media that's out there. We've tried to have a presence everywhere, so please check us out. Thank you so much for listening, and remember, everyone has a story.